Today, I had the chance to speak with one of Winnipeg's rising talents and someone I would consider a younger brother, Simon Hildebrandt. I got to know Simon while he was in 8th grade and have worked closely with him the last number of years as a skills coach and last year as his varsity head coach. Simon is currently playing prep basketball in Toronto at Royal Crown Academy. A 6'8 wing, he is starting to attract the attention of coaches south of the border. During this brief conversation, we discussed his adjustments to basketball at the prep level, learning from adversity, and what he wants to add to his game. That's enough of an intro. Here is a conversation with Simon Hildebrandt. We are now joined with my big little brother here, Simon Hildebrandt. Simon, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. So I guess the first thing I had wanted to ask about is you're playing prep basketball in Ontario right now for Royal Crown. What does a day-to-day life kind of look like for you at the moment, obviously with things the way they are currently?
It's definitely like we got school, we got basketball, repeat kind of, but the whole gist of it is like you wake up, we take a bus to school from the dorms. We have it's nice. We have 4 semesters instead of
Mhm.
2, and in these 4 semesters we have 2 classes each for 2 hours long.
Yeah.
So I have a class from 8 to 10 and then 10:15 to 12:15. So the whole afternoon is dedicated to basketball, which is nice. So we have on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, we have just like our regular practice with some film before and stuff like that. And on Tuesday, Thursdays, and Saturdays, we have strength and conditioning. So we're in the workout room. And then we also have skill work. So we have our assistant coaches, head coaches, other people come in and they all give us on court workouts after.
So that'd be so the you have the 3 days of like team practice and then the 3 days of
Yeah,
strength conditioning plus individuals.
and the Fridays, so we don't often practice. It's often like a scrimmage.
Mhm.
So I would assume some of that would change if we do end up having games. We might end up putting more practice time in, stuff
Yeah.
like that. But
What is how first of all, like what's the level like out there? Have you compared not maybe not comparatively because obviously the level is going to increase, but how do you feel you're fitting in, or what was the process like of fitting in?
it's good for sure. I mean, back home, I'm one of the tallest guys, and I'm playing on the perimeter. I can get in bad habits of I can just drive and get away with using my height, not as much skill.
Mhm.
So out here, it's the first month or two is really kind of like open my eyes in a sense. Like there's other people like me who are my size with similar skill set, and I still think it's really pushed me for sure. I've had to work on a lot of new different types of finishes, different types of fakes to get off my shot here and there. Because doing the same things I do back home, I just get blocked so easily or bodied off the ball or stuff like that. So it's just all about developing new, better habits, which I can hopefully bring back.
Oh, absolutely. The yeah, you go from being the basically 1'6'8" wing in the city in general, like not just at your age group, to one of what 4 or 5 on kind of on the
Yeah,
roster.
yeah. And even if guys aren't my size or a couple inches shorter, they have the athleticism,
Yeah, yeah,
right? Like in Winnipeg, there's not many guys you see who are taking off from middle of the key, throwing down, stuff like that, right?
yeah.
So I gotta figure out ways to use my height as an advantage when I'm a little bit slower and stuff like that.
How's the defensive side of the ball coming?
It's actually been really good. Uh, Lots of practice, moving my feet, having my hands up all the time, and I've learned to guys like me, like my with my build, they don't love to shoot right away. They
Mhm.
love to like slash, and if you're open, you'll shoot it. So I've learned to use my length, and I don't have to press up on guys, right?
Yep.
Like I have long arms, I can give them space and contest threes. And I can move my feet well. So I've definitely felt myself getting better for sure on the defensive end. And a lot of it's like effort driven. You know, like when you know there's you can like back home, I knew I could do what I want. Like I'm playing, right?
Yep.
Here it's like I'm one of the older guys, so I have to lead by example for
Mhm.
sure. Because a lot of younger guys, they see older guys slacking off, they think, oh, that's okay for everybody else now too. And you know that if you don't perform to these expectations, you won't see the floor as much, which is
Mhm.
big. So
How is what's the mindset like with a team like yourself? Obviously, like I think Royal Crown was one of the younger teams last year, correct?
yeah, for sure. And this year I think we're even younger. So
Okay, so how do you balance the want to have team success, obviously, whenever that's available, or just like kind of improving the level of guys around you, but also balancing that with the fact that you're there to get seen and to move your basketball career forward.
hmm um I mean, again, like personally, like if I can help the team win, that's my first priority. Because I mean, like of course I want to go pursue playing Division 1 and continue that. I
Mhm.
mean, we have people around us who will come in and watch us do skill work, and lots of people who will put in good words here and there. And we have scrimmages, and scrimmages where we're showcasing against our teammates. You can try to showcase yourself a little bit more. When it comes down to like playing, I think the only thing really I'm focused on is winning. I'm not playing to kind of show off at all. I mean, and then I'm hoping coaches will kind of see like that winning mentality and the winning plays that you make.
Yeah, yeah. No, that makes a lot of sense. It's actually a decent segue. We obviously you're on my team last year, on our varsity team at MBCI, and I think by both of our standards, we probably didn't have the season we wanted to have, in terms of team success. Personally, you'd probably felt you had some ups and downs as well. What were some of your takeaways from last year and kind of all that the scenarios that we had to deal with?
Um, One of the biggest things for sure is the impact of conditioning on me. Because I know personally, when I get tired, I start to be less aggressive. So that would result in me kind of settling for threes when I could attack the rim and either draw a foul or get an easier finish. Impacts me on the defensive end when I'm like not boxing out, or I'm not going for rebounds and not contesting shots like I would, stuff like that. And then kind of mentally out of it a little bit too, like you making slower reads, making the wrong read here, and then not hustling back as much. That's definitely the biggest thing. And other takeaways for sure is just the leadership aspect, knowing that especially with our point guard going out, a lot of stuff falls on my shoulders. So if I make a good pass to somebody like a shooter and he misses the shot, I got to let him know, hey, like that's a great shot for us. We need you to keep taking those, stuff like that. Or if a guy maybe takes a bad shot, explain to him, not yell at him. Like before, I might have just been like, oh, like to myself, not told him anything, and just kept going. But now it's kind of like I have to understand that from a leadership point of view, you gotta always work to improve. Always gotta keep your teammates head up. You gotta let them know stuff like that.
Yeah, and I think what you there was a great shift, and like leadership was something that we talked about a lot last year, of starting to understand the way different guys respond to
hmm
respond, like, and like how you talk to them. So that was definitely like, I think that was huge in terms of just in terms of just the basketball side of things. What was some of your the things or what you were forced into maybe because of the situation, um, because of injuries and roster construction, etc.
Are you talking about back home or here?
Yeah, back home, like last year.
Yeah, well, definitely me playing the point guard for the bulk of the year was, I think, really big for my development. I know that was really big working on my handle because that was one of the biggest things I needed to improve. And of course, I don't see myself playing point guard long term. I don't see myself breaking guys off the dribble and doing all that.
Mhm.
But I think it was a really big confidence booster for me, just dribbling with, trying to have my head up in the open floor, keeping my eyes up, hitting open guys, stuff like that. And in the half court, knowing like running sets and stuff, you gotta making the reads. And I know my dad always told me as a coach, the best players to pass into the post are the bigs because they know what it's like
Yep.
to receive the pass, to have the guys guarding. So now I get that understanding where if I'm playing on the wing or if I'm playing in the post or stuff like that, I kind of understand the point guard's perspective a little bit more than kind of just guessing. You can't say,
Yeah.
oh, we'll just do this because oh, I've been there, I've experienced that. It's a lot tougher than it seems.
Yeah. No, that's a great. Your dad's very very true with that about the passing of the big, and then now all of a sudden the point guard's
Yeah.
point of view. Shifting from like obviously from our season, what was your thought process when kind of everything shut down and all of a sudden we had our kind of put on our off season plan a little bit into basically nothing. What was that like for you?
It was definitely disappointing at first, because like we figured out we weren't going to be in provincials. I was kind of down, and in your head you're kind of like, oh, like I just want to work. I want to work. I want to go. But ultimately, I think it was good for me because going at a high level every day for a long period of time, your body starts to feel it. Maybe mentally you don't realize it yet, or physically you're just tired and you want to just keep going through it and you don't think long term. But I think taking that initial month and a bit off from maybe not off 100%, not doing anything, but just diminished for sure.
Yeah.
I think was really important for me physically. I think my body really recovered well, and then going back when we were allowed to do more stuff in May and June and that stuff, my body was a lot more ready for it, and I was had that eagerness again to go every day,
Yeah.
and I was just way more replenished for sure.
Yeah. Well, and because it wasn't just basketball for you, right? It was 3 years
Yeah,
of year-round
basketball and
competition and
volleyball.
volleyball, kind of all, and never really an off season, right? That's kind of
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
flowing from school sport to club sport to provincial team, and that was a 11 and a half month cycle.
yeah, exactly. So it was definitely a break that my body.
Is that something that you can kind of see yourself implementing going forward with in terms of kind of rest cycles?
Yeah, for sure, and it's also something that just like you get a better understanding for like your body needs that, and you can see like, of course, when you're off and you're not doing it, you kind of like, oh, I feel like I'm not helping myself at all. But when you get back, you really see the improvements that your body just feels rejuvenated.
Yeah. No, that's true. What was if you had to boil down last off season, like this past summer, to like learning one or two things? What were those main components that you look to add to your game this past off season?
Footwork, for sure. We did a lot of stuff with the handle, like starting and stopping and changing of direction, but less like adding in a big shifty crossover or stuff like that. More how you can get by guys by manipulating them with your feet and stuff like that, and stop having quick, efficient stops with your feet and stuff like that. Because coming here, I think I have some of the best footwork here, and I think going against guys who are a little bit quicker than me, a little more athletic than me, you can kind of use that to like wedge your way in, get in front, keep guys on your back, stuff like that. Quickly get by them without being super shifty or super quick.
Well,
And it also
yeah, keep going.
also helps with the shot preparation too. That's what I think.
I was gonna say like some of the I know the stuff that I've kind of studied and we're trying to implement to you. It almost makes you appear faster than you actually like your actual
Exactly.
your raw quickness might be. You're a bit more efficient getting two spots. With with your the first couple months of you there, do you already kind of have stuff in your mind of like what's the next part you want to add to the game or continue to build on?
Yeah, definitely. I think one thing I need to work on is, or two things. If I had to pick two things, would definitely be finishing. Now I know the kinds of finishes I'm going to need.
Yep.
Right. Like back home, you can tell yourself, "Oh, I need to work on this and this," but you don't know, or you can tell yourself you know why, but you haven't experienced it.
Yeah.
Now here I know just going up and doing a right-handed layup like that, like you'll get one of those every 3 games, right?
Yeah.
Like it's all about finishing over top of the defense, under the defense, around the defense, from both sides, from far out, from close in, all stuff like that. I think I have a better understanding of exactly what kind of finishes I need here, or especially like floaters too. Finishing, being the biggest guy in Winnipeg playing, I've never had to take a floater over somebody. I can just go put the ball above my head and finish.
Yep.
Here, I'm going against guys who have long arms, athletic, big, and you can't always get to the rim. And when you do, you get blocked a lot. It's tough finishes. So just be able to take that open 12-foot floater is a lot easier than taking that contested 4-foot layup.
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing is just rep out contested shooting. Because again, it's a 24-second shot clock, and
Yep.
maybe twice a game we get open looks. But for the most part, you're just got to be focused on your rhythm, and you'll catch the ball and you'll be open, but there'll be someone in your area that might get a hand up. And those are the shots you got to knock down that come with repetition.
Yeah, just like guys just flying at you.
Yeah, it's just to practice that, zoning them out, just get in the zone. You catch. No, don't think about it. Just catch and shoot.
Yeah.
Just straight up.
Is there anybody in particular that you like watching film of, in terms of, you're like, oh, I see myself in that, or there's an aspect of this guy's game that I think I could emulate a little bit?
Definitely Gordon Hayward. I know, watching him a lot in college. He
Mhm.
played the 4. I see myself some of them. We're similar size. Right now in the NBA, he's he can play the 2 if he needs. He can
Yeah.
handle the ball. I don't see myself as much that, but in college he was a 6'8", 4 who would stretch guys out with his 3-point shooting, drive by guys, little pull-ups, up and unders, stuff like that, which I think is really someone I can try to emulate.
Well, and I think what that shows is great maturity and understanding like the levels of development. Like you're seeing kind of the version of Gordon, or you're watching the version of Gordon Hayward that you can most kind of identify with right now. But what I think is important is you're seeing that there is a like progression to be made, but you're not trying to become a 2 guard for next year kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's makes a whole lot of sense, man. I don't got too much else. Life's good.
Life's good.
That's awesome, man. I appreciate you coming on, having a little conversation. Can't wait till we can get back at it. I know. All I'm saying is I'm feeling pretty nice right now, so you might have some trouble in ones.
Okay, we'll see. We'll see.
All right, buddy. Have a good rest of the day.
You too. Take care.
Take care.